Husband didn't pay my mother's healthcare, now wants the inheritance. I said no. Am I the butthole? I am, 29F, a Sam. I take care of the home and my son, 4M, while my husband Sam, 31M, works. I haven't had a job in 4 years as Sam wanted me to be a Sam by the time our son was born. I accepted since Sam has an absurdly good salary and mine was not that great. My mom fell ill half a year ago, her diabetes became quite complicated and she needed some medical care. We don't live in the US, so the expenses were relatively small. I asked Sam to please give me half of the total medical bill since my brother, 25M, was going to pay the other half. Sam refused to pay a penny from the bill. And since I have no income, my brother had to pay it all. Sadly, my mom passed away a month ago. My brother and I just got the whole estate in order. Each of us is going to get a somewhat considerable figure. Since my mother had some properties, which she did not sell as they are in poor condition, this morning my husband told me he wants me to sell my part of the inheritance so we can make some, non-vital, house repairs and possibly go on vacation. I laughed more out of anger than anything else and told him that he had no right to suggest how to make use of the inheritance that my mother left when he refused to even pay half of her medical bills. He called me and went to work. I got a call from his sister who was extremely angry. She called me irrational and told me that since I was living off the money Sam earns, I have no right to demand money from him and that the inheritance gives me the opportunity to return some of the money he has spent on me. The call really got me thinking and now I wonder if I'm really behaving like an Edit. I've received a lot of comments asking the same questions so I will answer them here. 1. Why did my brother and I received a large inheritance but helped my mom with the treatment? My mom didn't leave us cash. She left us properties, 4 in total. These properties are basically in ruins and need a ton of work done, so my mom didn't receive any income from these properties. She placed 2 of them for sale, but they never sold since the real estate market is extremely expensive here. 2. Why did my mom paid her main treatment? My mom paid the hospital her entire treatment there, so her hospitalization or any larger procedure. My brother and I wanted to help her with medical appointments. She visited several specialists outside the hospital, and medicines. The hospital didn't cover them. That's why I said that the expenses were relatively small. Apologies if my redaction is confusive. 3. I made the mistake of commenting that my husband earns 5 zeros, but it's in my currency, not in dollars. He earns monthly about 12,000 American dollars. Not the butthole, and I would seriously consider using that inheritance money to divorce your husband. This is financial abuse on his part. He is an and throwing out some major red flags. Edit. My first top comment. Thanks for the awards. Grinning face. Not the butthole. Sam wanted you to be a SAH parent, then he and his sister use money to control you and berate you. Take the inheritance and use it to get away from this controlling, selfish man. Not the butthole, but if Sam's attitude is that since he makes the money he controls it completely, you have bigger problems than what to do about an inheritance. When both partners have decided that one person will stay at home, then all monies have to be pooled. You should always have an equal say about money and should not have to go begging. Getting ISIS involved is also bizarre. WTF kind of marriage is this? If Sam refuses to have joint finances, you have got to go back to work or demand a salary for the childcare and housework you do. This way you can establish some financial independence while you figure out if this is a good situation for you and your kid. Don't sell the properties until you guys have worked on your marriage. It's easier to keep an inheritance separate from marital assets in the event of a divorce if you haven't liquidated the properties and commingled the funds. Not the butthole. Girl, this is red flag city. He's financially abusing you or trying to. He's definitely trying to leave you without options. He needs to get himself sorted out before you do it for him. Don't let him near that dollar or any of the investment properties. Make sure his name isn't on anything. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.